Books are a great way to pass on and absorb knowledge from previous generations, people who have lived and learned, and also from people who are living and learning right now. And knowledge has the power to change our lives. Throughout my life, I've discovered a lot of great books that helped me to grow personally and professionally. And in this video, I wanted to share 5 books that had a major impact on my life. And the first book on my list is going to be Mindset by Carol Dweck. As a kid, I kind of believed that some people have inborn talents. So when I saw a great athlete or musician or an artist, I assumed that their success was due to their inborn talent, something that only they can have and not anyone else. And also, I didn't really see any talents in myself. I was curious about many things, but I was kind of afraid to try. I thought I would probably fail anyways. When I found Mindset book by Carol Dweck, I realized that this kind of mindset has a label, has a name, and that it doesn't really serve me well. So the major idea of the book is that there are 2 types of mindset: fixed and growth. People with a fixed mindset tend to believe that their skills and abilities are set in stone and cannot be developed. So they fear challenges as they can reveal their weaknesses. And people with a growth mindset believe that their abilities can be developed. And they appreciate challenges for being learning opportunities, and they do not fear being challenged. In the fixed mindset, everything is about the outcome. If you fail, or if you're not the best, it's all been wasted. The growth mindset allows people to value what they're doing regardless of the outcome. In this book, there are a lot of examples of people with a fixed mindset, and the more I was reading the book, the more upset I was getting, because I definitely recognized myself in the description of a fixed mindset. But also, I was excited. I was excited because the book provides some tips on how you can develop a growth mindset in yourself and how you can help develop it in other people. And I think 2 major takeaways from me from the book was, first, treating challenges as learning opportunities, and also treating failures as lessons. I believe these are 2 major soft skills, if we can call them that I could develop early in my 20s or maybe late in my teen years. And I believe that these 2 skills had a major impact on me learning foreign languages and the way that I approached learning languages, and also transitioning into software development after I graduated as a linguist. It's not just our abilities and talent that bring us success, but whether we approach them with a fixed or a growth mindset. We can't really say if the inborn talent exists. It has been a topic for debate in the scientific community, and we can say for sure there is evidence to suggest that genetics can play a certain role in some abilities, but also it is important to note that your environment has a lot of impact on your skills and abilities. Personally, I choose not to even use the word talent and not really to think too much about it, because it's not productive. There is no way I can check if I do have a talent or if I don't have a talent for something. It's always better to just try it out and figure it out on the go. And this is why I was curious about The Talent Code by Daniel Cole. And this book explores the science behind building your talent. Well, whether you believe that the inborn talent exists or not, most people will agree that just having the talent is not enough, and that we need to do something about it, we need to develop it. And this book is exactly about this. I think the most interesting idea in the book is myelin, which is a substance that wraps around our neural pathways and kind of accelerates the speed and the accuracy of the signal in the brain. And Cole argues that by practicing deeply, and we'll get to this later, we can produce more of this substance, and this substance directly correlates with the skill level that you have. So you are only as good as how thick this myelin substance is. And what's also interesting is that this idea of myelin and its role in developing your skills has also been supported by various research in neuroscience. So the key takeaway from this particular idea and the overall book is that everything comes down to how much you practice and how exactly you practice. So, this idea of 10,000 hours that you need to spend with something to get really good at this, exceptionally good, this may not be really true, but we do need to spend some time, not some time, but quite a lot of time learning something, practicing something to get good at this, but also what matters is how exactly you do this. So the idea of deep practice in the book implies that it is better to practice in shorter bursts instead of practicing for hours non-stop while you make mistakes and also correct them right away and kind of restart. Ideally, you should also seek feedback from professionals, from people who already know the thing that you're learning or practicing, and also develop a growth mindset so you don't get disappointed when you fail and that you can learn from your mistakes and all the challenges that present themselves. If Mindset by Carol Dweck taught me I can develop any skill that I need or want, the Talent Code book taught me how to build skills. And the next one taught me how to be a better communicator. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I'm sorry if this is cheesy, but I do think this book provides some basics on how to build strong relationships with people. And the author argues that the key to success in professional and personal life is in effective communication with people. The key to success or not, I do find it valuable and important since we all live in a society and surrounded by people. And there are a lot of small and big insights in the book, and all of them basically come down to being a positive force, growing empathy towards people, growing your interest in people and getting interested in people. One of the insights like this is the importance of being a good listener, focusing on the person that you're talking with and have genuine interest in whatever they are saying. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Also, the author argues that we all feel the deep need to feel valued and appreciated, and which is why it is important to recognize contributions to build strong relationships. And this is yet again something super obvious to me now, but it wasn't so early in my 20s when I just read the book. I always felt a little bit shy and awkward. I didn't like communicating with people, and especially it felt awkward to recognize good things in them, to say good things. And this book definitely taught me how to be more vocal about the things that I like in others, and also when recognizing contributions that they've made. The next book is something truly special to me, and this is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. This book is a collection of personal reflections by the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. If you're not familiar or the book, you may be asking, why would I be interested in his reflections? Marcus Aurelius was also a Stoic philosopher. And now Stoicism is a school of thought originated in ancient Greece and flourished in Rome, and it has a lot of practical wisdom on how to live a happy and fulfilling life. And this book is a nice introduction to Stoicism. And at the heart of this philosophy is the idea that we control our thoughts and emotions, that are reactions to the external events which we do not control. And the Stoics believed that if we focus on what it is within our control and accept everything that's beyond, we can live a happy, quiet, and calm life. And now one of the examples to give you of the mindset shift that this philosophy can provide is, let's say, imagine that you are preparing for a picnic. You want to grab some nice food and go to your local park, or maybe to the beach, to the forest with your family or with your friends to spend some quality time together. But suddenly it started raining. One option is to get upset about it and maybe ruin your day, all your plans, and just be sad about it. But rain is outside of your control. This is something you cannot change anyhow. So according to Stoics, it doesn't make any sense to focus your energy on the things like this. And instead, you should concentrate on your reactions. You can control your emotional reaction and your thoughts. So you can choose not to be sad, and also you can choose to just do something else. If it's raining, it's cozy at home, so you can stay at home, have a movie night, grab some nice food at home, or get something delivered, get some tea, and wrap yourself in blankets. So the Stoics believe that by accepting that we cannot change, like the raining situation, we can just keep calm and spend more of our energy on things that are within our control, things that we cannot change. For instance, our plans. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it matters. I always try to remember this, but there are instances when I find it hard to concentrate on things within my control and just let everything else go. And at the moment like this, I think it's useful to remember another Stoic principle, which is memento mori. Remember about death. It may sound very pessimistic to some of you, thinking about death all the time, remembering that we are not eternal and there's an end to everything. But I personally find it very encouraging, because thinking that there is an end to it makes me appreciate everything that I have even more. It makes me more grateful for whatever I have, and it helps me not to dwell on the negative, on the things that don't maybe go well according to my plans. One of the examples is if you have a kid or a spouse, there are moments when you disagree, when you have arguments. And sometimes they can leave very bitter feelings. And also some people tend to dwell on those feelings. And now remembering that there is an end to everything just makes you realize how silly some of the arguments are. So in the end, memento mori, remembering about death, doesn't necessarily make you sad and pessimistic. On the contrary, it helps you, it encourages you to live to the fullest. And yet again, challenges are learning opportunities, and this is something the Stoics believed too. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. As for the book itself, it consists of a lot of small paragraphs. And I'd say this is not the book you should rush through, but instead read one or a couple of paragraphs before you go to sleep, or maybe when you're just in the mood, to remind yourself of the principles in Stoicism if you're interested in applying them and practicing them in your real life. The last book, but not less important, The Richest Man in Babylon, which teaches you basics of financial success. I find this kind of books useful to read early in your 20s, and this one is amazing. I love the storytelling. The book contains a lot of parables and stories set in ancient Babylon, and when you read it, you don't even feel like it's a self-help book, because it is interesting, it is engaging, and it just feels like a fiction book. It teaches a lot of practical insights though, and some of them are: you should save money. You should save at least 10% of your money, not spend it on anything else. If you have debt, pay it in full. If you don't, save and invest your money. It also talks about protecting your wealth, so being careful with money, not spending on meaningless things, and be careful about risky investments. Avoid them if you can. Well, probably you can. Also, it says that you should search for opportunities to grow your wealth, which is in some sense about learning, improving your skills, and learning more about finances overall. But the idea that I like the most is the idea of living below your means. Well, this will sound obvious, but we should not spend more than we earn. And this is again the reference to meaningless purchases, risky investments, but also it means not elevating your lifestyle simultaneously with increases in your income. It's so easy to just want the latest piece of tech and to want to get it once you get promoted, or to want a bigger apartment, a better car, or there are a lot of things to buy, right, in the world. And the idea of not elevating your lifestyle is basically just, instead of buying things better, bigger, and whatever, use the money to save it for something else, for something that's going to be more meaningful to you personally, for your goals, or your life strategy. I'd be curious to know what was the most influential book in your life. Make sure to write it down in the comments below. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.